So we are talking about attracting more introverted clients. So as an introvert myself, when I was behind the chair, I super struggled with going into work, having these clients that maybe didn't, weren't as compatible of a match with my own personality, and going home just super, super drained. And look, sometimes we need to take all kinds of different clients. And I have to say, even as an introvert, I married an extrovert. My best friend is an extrovert. Like, I love all of the extroverts in my life. And also at the same time, in your work environment, where you're spending 8 hours, where we're having these intense, appointments with our clients that can be many hours long, it is so nice and refreshing to have those clients that come in that are introverted, and where you have to feel less pressure, where you can feel less pressure to perform, to match their energy, all of that. So if we are introverted and we would like to have more introverted clients coming in, how can we make that happen? So that is exactly what we're going to talk about today. Thank you for everyone for seeing the lives earlier, still coming back and hanging out. I had to change locations. I moved my office into a spare room downstairs so that I have less distractions, but I haven't put in any rugs or anything yet. And the echo is insane. So I had to come upstairs. I'm in my husband's office now, but I had to get upstairs so that I wasn't distracted by my own echoing voice, and hopefully the audio is much better here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. For those of you who are here with me, would you describe yourself more as an introvert or an extrovert, okay? And at the end of your workday, do you find yourself feeling really drained? Or does all of the social interaction of the day and of your appointments feel good to you? Are you recharged? Give me a little look into your vibe here. Okay, so as we start this conversation, I just have my notes here. As we start this conversation, one of the things that I really did want to say is that I think the biggest myth when it comes to introverted personalities is that all introverts want is quiet. They are shy. They are, they don't appreciate fun, playful, exciting environments as much as other people. And for those of you here or who are listening that are introverts, you guys know that this isn't true. It just takes time to feel comfortable sometimes. It depends on everything that's going on around us. It depends on just so many things. So I want us to keep that in mind at the beginning. As we have this conversation, yes, we are going to talk about different things, but I want you to be careful to never stereotype other people. We are all a blend of 1,000 things, right? So, okay. Just keep in mind that introverts have extroverted traits, and it can also just depend on the environment. And knowing that a lot of it can depend on the environment means that we can set you up super successfully to not only have a great environment if you are introverted and you need these things, or create this environment for your clients so that you are actually going to attract many more introverted clients who will then refer probably their introverted friends to you, and then you're going to be able to have these work days that feel super good. Okay, so in my research and preparing for this training, I learned that there are 4 different kinds of introverts. So people have basically created 4 subtypes that introverts tend to fall into. So if you guys are introverted, definitely let me know in the comments which one you relate with the most. So the first one is kind of the classic type that we think of. This is a social introvert. So social introverts tend to like more small groups and more quiet settings over crowds. They might even seem really social and all of that, but it just drains them a lot, right? So social environments drain them. The second subtype of introverts is a thinking introvert. So people in this group, they tend to just be more daydreamers. They spend a lot of time in their thoughts, and they just tend to have very creative imagination. So this isn't even someone who maybe outwardly seems introverted, although they just might be more quiet, right? They're just in their head a lot more. The third one is an anxious introvert. So they're seeking out alone time, not just because they like alone time, but because they feel like awkward, shy around other people. They get like, they're overthinking every little thing that they're doing. They're like, why'd I say that? Why'd I do that? What is happening? And so it's actually stressful being in social environments. And then the last kind is called just a restrained, inhibited introvert. And these introverts just think a lot before they act. So they're not going to make decisions on a whim. And they typically take longer to take action, okay? Really important also to think about, like, as we are going to be talking about marketing and attracting more introverted personality types. And the biggest thing to note as we think about these subtypes is that a lot of it depends on the environment. So we're going to be talking about that a lot today. So if you are somebody who wants more introverted clients, more clients that you can hold space for in a more quiet way, you don't have to perform as much, you don't have to match their energy as much, then here are 3 ways to attract them. And I think I've said it a couple times at this point, but when I say match energy, what I'm really talking about is it's a psychological trait or a psychological skill that we do, especially as a service provider, as somebody offering a service, is we match and we mirror what other people are doing, right? So that's how you form good bonds. That's how you make people feel safe and comfortable, is by doing mirroring. And a lot of us do it completely subconsciously. And I think that the mirroring aspect is what also makes people who are the opposite of you. So if I'm introverted, it makes an extroverted client extra challenging and draining for me, is because I'm going to match their energy, their enthusiasm, their excitement. I'm going to mirror that to them so that they feel comfortable and that they're having a great time. So if we love them, we love them. If you want to have more introverted clients, here's 3 ways that we're going to do that, okay? So number 1 way to get more introverted clients into you is what I'm just going to call, in a kind of a general way, authentic marketing, okay? Instead of seeing marketing trends that come and go on Instagram, or different topics, things that come and go, even in terms of like what's cool to do as a hairstylist in your salon, right? When people are talking about, maybe music, different services to offer, all of this different stuff, instead of getting bogged into some of the trends and some of the hype, I want you guys to value showing up as you more than a trend, a hype, or what seems cool at the moment. I think people in general really want to work and spend time. Like we said, so a lot of our appointments in the salon are many hours, right? So 2 to 4 hours or more. We want to spend time with somebody who we feel like we know, we can feel comfortable with, that we think we'll get along with. I think the biggest anxiety-inducing thing for an introvert when choosing a new hairstylist is just having no idea what to expect when they go in, right? They're like, okay, I know this person can do great hair. I know that this person is going to, not like most likely get it right and give me something I'm gonna love, but what is it gonna be like when I get there? And I think that if you can upfront in your marketing solve that like wonder and question that especially introverted types are going to be having about choosing a salon, I think you are going to be 10 steps ahead, and it is going to make your life so much easier. So what that can look like specifically is showing more of your personality, okay? Even if your personality, and we're going to get into this more, but showing your introverted personality, right? Talking about the things that make you who you are, instead of shying away from them and feeling almost like you have to put on a persona in order to be successful in this industry, that's over. Like, we're done with that. I think people just want real people, and they want to know that when they are coming in to see someone, that it is going to be a comfortable thing and it's going to feel good. So show more of your personality. Also, when you are partnering and promoting other local brands, which is a huge thing that I talk about in terms of like growing your clientele way quicker, is partnering with other local brands. Think about partnering with those other small businesses in your area that also could be more for an introverted market versus an extroverted market. And just don't feel like you need to be something you're not, right? We are going to just have authentic marketing. If you are a lower energy person, of course, nobody wants to watch a video that's like, blah, 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 like, you know, but you don't have to be singing, dancing, doing all this crazy stuff if that isn't your personality. So just show up authentically. The second thing that I want you to keep in mind is we want to create a balanced experience, okay? And I think that this is huge. When I find stylists that do this just personally for getting my own hair done as an introvert, this makes or breaks it for me. But it's just about a balanced experience. So as an introvert, I still love connecting, getting to know people, have people get to know me, right? 9 times out of 10, when I even meet people, they're like, you're not an introvert. You know, I'm still social. I still want to connect. But here's the difference. I like it in short bursts. So in a salon experience, what we can do is not shy away from asking questions or getting to know someone. However, we can create pockets of time where it is quiet, pockets of time where that client and you honestly can recharge, right? So this could traditionally be like the processing time, but we could also even think about conversation. A lot of times, extroverts specifically really struggle to allow quiet and like peacefulness and conversations. But when you are wanting to attract more of that introverted client, it's important to have those gaps in there so that they can like breathe for a second before moving on to the next conversation topic. So just to reiterate, like, don't think that you can't talk, ask questions, or share together with your introverted clients. Just factor in more quiet spaces into the visit. So most introverts love connecting. They just need to recharge more often than your extroverted clients. So having those gaps, allowing there to be quiet spaces in between conversation topics, and not just like going because you're worried if they're having a good time or something, okay? Just allowing that balanced experience. And also, don't be afraid to talk about that on your Instagram. Don't be afraid to share how you like to let your clients relax during their appointment, how you don't create a lot of pressure when it comes to conversation, all of that kind of stuff. Don't keep that a secret and just do that like when they're in the salon with you. You can talk about that. You can talk about how that's something that you prioritize, because at the end of the day, a great salon visit, regardless of your personality, is one where you come in and you forget about all your problems. You can just relax, have a break from the world, and walk out feeling obviously beautiful and like your absolute best self, okay? So create a balanced experience. Okay, and then tip number 3 for attracting more introverted clients is going to be engaging with your audience online. So wherever you are building, or you feel like you're building the most audience, wherever you're building the biggest audience platform wise, I would just ask questions and get your community involved in things like this. So ask them for podcast recommendations, right? I am out of podcast I've listened to all my favorite podcasts. What are you guys listening to right now? Ask for book recommendations. Ask for local bookstore recommendations. Ask for, cooking recipes or different hobbies, if you are crocheting or sewing or like whatever your other hobbies are, and crafts and things like that, it's like ask for recommendations. Let people know your interests that you're into, and then that is going to help you attract people who are interested in similar things to you. And I think that, again, this is a way of communicating. I read a lot. I, love watching movies. This is what I do in my date time with my spouse. What are you guys doing for dates lately? Like, this is a way that we communicate our personality, but also call people into it and get people excited about sharing that thing in common with us. And it's a surefire way to help people know that you're somebody they can relate to, that you're a safe place, that if they're not looking for an environment that is like loud and has tons of people in it and all of that stuff, they know that they can come to you, to a more like calm environment. Still fun is important, but fun doesn't have to mean chaotic. Fun doesn't have to mean loud and crazy or anything like that. So let me just make sure I didn't miss anything here. Yeah, so I think that those are really the most important things. And again, the reason why you might want to be attracting more introverted clients is just because you want to feel less drained at the end of your day. You want to have more people who kind of match your personality, where it's going to be more natural to talk to them, to show up to them. You won't have to be mirroring so much that you're so drained by the end of the day, but you can still deliver that amazing experience. And I will say, once you can start attracting introverted clients, they are extremely loyal because they would prefer sticking with and getting to know people and having that, like, almost like that decision is made and it's done and they don't have to make it again. They can just keep booking with you. They are so loyal, so consistent, all of that, considerate. They really think things through so that it can be a great way to build your business and also have more calm when you're in the salon if you need it. For my extroverted hairstylists who fucking love extroverted clients and having that experience, more power to you. I hope you continue to build and grow and attract those clients to you. And for my introverted stylists who want more introverted clients, I hope that this training has helped you. Just to do a quick recap, we have number 1, authentic marketing. Don't be afraid to show your introverted personality, whether that is talking about your hobbies more, talking about what you like to do in your downtime, how you create these experiences in the salon. Number 2, we want to create a balanced experience, okay? We want to have gaps in talking, gaps in all of that. It's okay to leave quiet spaces between topic switches or when people are processing and all of that so that they have time to recharge. And then on your social, in your stories, whatever, talking about your hobbies more, asking for advice around, books to read next, podcasts, all of that kind of thing, great bookstores, great places to go, etc., so that you're really calling in those introverts and talking about that stuff. So I hope that this has been helpful. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love doing these episodes, these live recordings every Monday here on Instagram. And then as always, you guys can tune in wherever you stream your podcast for the Successful Hairstylist podcast. I release them every single Tuesday. So yeah, I will see you all next week. Have a beautiful day.